Ladies and gents of the Food Guilt Coach podcast, welcome back. And I have to say that I think this episode is probably going to be the most impactful episode that I have ever recorded and possibly will do for some time. And I know I'm probably shooting myself in the foot with that for future episodes, but this one in particular is going to be huge. And the reason for that is because not only has it made me aware, but actually all of my clients in my blueprint have really started to grasp this now and see the magnitude of what I'm about to talk about. And what I want to start with is a little story that happened to me literally only about 2-3 weeks ago now. And it was a Friday morning, and my partner, Pippa, was heading to London. And I walked to the train station at about 8 o'clock in the morning. I always try and walk her there because it's only a short walk away, and I think it's always nice just to, make the effort and, give a little bit of a send-off kind of thing. And I walked to the train station, I walked back, and I got back at maybe about 8:30 in the morning. And I walked in, and I don't know how, but Pippa had left me these 3 small fun-sized chocolate bars as a little, here you go, look forward to this, enjoy it, because she knows I'm a huge chocolate fan. I love chocolate. And she'd left me these 3 little fun-sized chocolate bars. One was in my mug, one was in my shoe, and one was like just poking out the top of the wardrobe. Really kind of like nice and thoughtful and considerate. Anyway, obviously I've come from, having a terrible relationship with food and, having a very, very bad eating disorder. Not that there are good eating disorders, but I would say as far as mine went, I felt for myself it was very severe, and I've come a hell of a long way. But anyway, I wanted to share this story because this still happens to the best of us, and it's okay. Because I ate those 3 fun-sized chocolates within 5 minutes of walking through the door. I still had my current pair of shoes on. That's how quickly they went from being seen to being eaten. And when I finished the 3rd one, I was like, I didn't even want these. Like, I wasn't even thinking about chocolate. Why have I done that? And I started going like, you muppet. Why have you done that? Why have you just done that? It's 8:30 in the morning. You were about to have some poached eggs on toast, which is a breakfast you really look forward to, you really enjoy, and you've just had 3 chocolate bars. And instantly, the thought in my head was, well, it's Friday. Pippa's on her way to London, so tonight I might as well get a Five Guys takeaway, get the double bacon cheeseburger, and I have the mushrooms and I have the fried onions on, and I might as well get, just a small chips, because if you've ever had a Five Guys chips, a small chips is like a large chips. But do you know what? Get a milkshake as well, because those milkshakes are good. And on top of that, get a bottle of wine, because you can relax, you can put a good film on, you can have your Five Guys, you can have your bottle of wine, you can have your bag of buttons. And because you finished work earlier today on a Friday, I always try and finish my client calls a little earlier. Why don't you just go to the pub, take your laptop, do some work, and you can just relax with some work and have a few pints, maybe 3 pints. 3 pints, bottle of wine, bag of buttons, and a Five Guys. Perfect. That sounds great, but that is not what I wanted to do at all, up until the point where I had 3 fun-sized chocolate bars, which maybe together might have been 250, maximum 300 calories, okay? Not a lot. But because suddenly my expectations of my day had been changed, I went down that path in an instant thought of, well, I might as well do this then. And if I'd have gone back 5 minutes earlier, before I stepped foot back into our flat, my plan for the day was I was going to have poached eggs for my breakfast. And tonight, on that night, particular Friday night, I was going to have some homemade delicious fajitas that I'd really been looking forward to. And I was also going to go to the gym in the afternoon and just have a good, enjoyable workout. That all went out of the window the moment that 3rd fun-sized chocolate bar touched my lips. And this is what's crazy, because how often have you potentially been there as well, within a similar situation where, well, I've done this, so I might as well do that. And here's the thing. These thoughts are really normal, because that's coming from behaviours that have been ingrained in us for years. And as much as we can change those behaviours And don't get me wrong, if this happens to me, and it doesn't happen often, it's not often I just go and eat the chocolate, if I'm honest, if it's there in front of me. Something must have just, I think it was like the, oh, she's just going away, but oh wow, she's left me that. Do you know what, let's have it now. And it doesn't often happen to me in the sense of like just going impulsively and eating the chocolate. But my point is that behaviours can still linger, especially those from the past. And that's okay. Because it's not the first thought that pops into our head that we want to try and control, because that's already happened. But what we can control is the second thought, the third thought, the fourth thought, and the fifth thought. And this is what I had to do in that moment. I had to literally give myself kind of the realization of, but James, you don't even want that. Like, yeah, you didn't want the chocolate, and yeah, you didn't need the chocolate at 8:30 in the morning, but you certainly don't actually want to have the Five Guys tonight. You've actually really been looking forward to your fajitas. You don't want to just have, unnecessary beers and a bottle of wine by yourself tonight just because you've had some chocolate. You can still enjoy a film without that. That's what you were planning to do. And as well, because you're working tomorrow, I really don't look forward to the feeling of being sluggish in the morning. And I had to really reinforce through these extra thoughts, additional thoughts, the rational part of my brain, rather than that emotional elephant, actually what I really wanted to do in that moment. And I had to keep reinforcing that throughout the day, because up until the point of me cooking my fajitas that night, which were delicious, I must have had that initial, Five Guys tonight, thought a dozen times. And every single time that first thought crept in, I was like, okay, buddy, we've been through this. You don't actually want or need the Five Guys. You don't actually really want or need the alcohol. What you're really looking forward to is how you're going to feel tonight when your head hits the pillow and you go, do you know what? How lovely was it that Pippa left me those chocolates? I'm really, really grateful for that. Because if I'd have carried on with the Five Guys and the alcohol, I would have put my head on the pillow that night and I would have gone, if Pippa hadn't have left me those chocolates, that wouldn't have happened. And I would have resented what actually was a really lovely, thoughtful gesture. Because it wasn't the fact that Pippa had left the chocolates that was the problem. It was my emotional response to eating the chocolate that was the problem. And this is what's so important, because if we can then therefore accept responsibility for our own thoughts, our own actions, then what we do is we keep the control. We are able then to make a decision based on what will serve us and what is aligned to our mission as an individual, to be healthier, to be happier, to have a positive relationship with food, rather than just passing the buck and go, oh, it was Pippa's fault. And how many times have maybe you been in that situation where you pass the blame, where actually we're always in control of what we eat and drink and consume. So that's a really just pertinent story to this. And what I actually wanted to get into today are those might as well calories, which is exactly what I would have done. I might as well have the Five Guys, right? But again, a few weeks ago, I was on a call with a member of my blueprint who'd recently just joined. And as we, begin the process, we go through the real eating environment fundamentals to begin with, the lifestyle fundamentals, so we can really start to build in some foundational basics. And then we start tapping into nutrition in much greater detail. And this particular client usually goes out for a meal on a Saturday night. Okay, so every week she goes out for a dinner, either with her partner, with a sister, or with her friends. And sometimes, and quite often, it's for an Indian. Okay, now we all know what Indian food, in restaurants can be like. They're delicious, full of flavor, good portion sizes, and it's food that is very easy to overconsume. Now, when she went to the Indian restaurant on this particular Saturday, she ate her meal, but they'd also ordered rice, standard, chips, and naan. Now, great, delicious, sounds lovely if I'm honest. But when she finished her meal and she was full, there were some chips, and those chips were looking good still. Might as well just, keep picking. I'm full, but I might as well just keep picking. And she just kept picking, just kept eating them. To the point where suddenly the chips had gone, and now she's uncomfortable. Like, oh gosh, do you know what? I'm feeling really bloated. But might as well just eat a bit more. I've already done that, so I might as well. To the point where now it's like, well, do you know what? There's a bit of, curry sauce, so I might as well break off a bit more naan and eat a bit more sauce. And now she is genuinely uncomfortably full. She's gone past that point of, going, oh gosh, that was nice. It's gone to the point of now that was nice, but oh my gosh, I've eaten way too much now. But because she's done that, well, might as well just get the ice cream to finish off then. Might as well. So she had the ice cream. And this is the situation that I have found myself in, and I have done exactly the same, maybe even dramatically more, hundreds of times over my life. And maybe you have as well. But this is the real big penny drop moment. Those simple might as well calories, just from going past that point of fullness to extra, we worked out would be a minimum of 1,500 calories in that one moment, okay? One moment. And we got to think how easy is that just to happen once a week? But let's just say, for argument's sake, that you're there listening to this or watching this if you're on my YouTube channel. And if you are on my YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe. And if you are on my podcast, please feel free to follow it so you keep on tap with all the latest episodes. But let's just say, for example, that you're thinking, do you know what? That wouldn't happen to me. I don't do that when I eat out. Let's spread that across the week. That's only 300, might as well calories every single day for the same amount of calories. And if we put that into context, what that actually looks like, that might just be a few biscuits. It's less than a packet of crisps and a chocolate bar. That might literally be, oh, do you know what? I'll have an extra just slice of toast and a piece of fruit. I'm not hungry. I don't need it. But do you know what? I'm a bit bored. Snackish. Might as well. All of these might as well calories really do add up. And a lot of the time we might think, do you know what? I'm a bit bored. I'm a bit fed up. I'm a bit stressed. Oh, do you know what? I just want to eat something. Or do you know what? I'll just go and eat some fruit then. And we think that fruit is healthy. That fruit is nutritious. And do you know what? We are exactly right. Fruit is full of nutritious goodness, full of vitamins, full of minerals, and it's got so much, goodness for us. But if we're reinforcing the fact that just because I'm stressed or I'm bored, I therefore eat, we're still consuming calories that we don't actually require. What we do require is understanding how we can manage those emotions in a better, healthier way. Because those calories still count. And this is what goes against the whole Slimming World mindset of free food. Because if you still eat 500 calories from fruit, it's still 500 calories, regardless if it's from fruit or, I don't know, an avocado, or what other high sin foods are there? Slice of pizza, which is off the sin scale. So let's say, for example, then you have those 300 calories every single day, which equates to 1,500. Now, the way that my program works is about lifelong results, lifelong behavior change. So then we lose weight for good. We let it go. We don't lose it and find it. We let the weight go for good. But along the way, we want to really instill good behaviors, a great relationship with food, and also real strong sense of self-worth and confidence, which makes us happy, because happiness is already inside us. Don't forget that. It's just about how we perceive what we should be doing and achieving. But those accumulative calories over, say, a year of just, might as well, of 1,500 a week, which is not a lot, equates to 78,000, I might as well calories. 78,000 calories just from going on might as well. Because, well, why not? And if we relate that to body fat or pounds of energy, because there's 3,500 calories for every pound of body fat, so that therefore equates to just over 22 pounds of body fat over the year, just from going, might as well. So if we are someone that just goes, might as well, which typically speaking, you probably are, I certainly still am, but to a very less of a degree than what I used to be. And this is where it's important. It's about progress, not perfection, because I had those fun-sized chocolates. I might as well have had them. But it's the difference between having those at 250 calories and then consuming an additional 4,000 calories after, just because I might as well. So it's about progress, not perfection, remember. But those 22,000 calories, let's say, for example, you wanted to just maintain your weight that year. You've, in theory, got to lose those 22 pounds of might as wells just to stay the same. Now, let's say, for example, you want to lose 10 pounds this year. And I know a lot of people listening to this have got goals way further and way beyond those 10 pounds. But if you wanted to lose 10 pounds, you've initially got to get over the hurdle of the 22 pounds of weight gain that you would put on just from going, might as well. So you've got to lose 32 pounds over a year to actually lose those 10 pounds. Crazy. And the way that I kind of use this as an analogy, and I think this is a really great, different way to view it. But let's say, for example, you've got a credit card, okay? You've got a credit card and your credit card is maxed out. And every month you're paying the minimum. What are you paying there typically? Yeah, you're paying a little bit off your balance, but you're mostly paying interest. And this is kind of like every time you go, yeah, I might as well have another. Yeah, I might as well finish off that. Yeah, I might as well just finish the plate, clear the plate. Every time you go, I might as well, you are basically then having to pay off those interest calories for you to, before you can start to lose the weight that you actually want to. So if we can therefore reduce, minimize, remove those might as well calories, and let's say, for example, you're already roughly at maintenance calories, so you're staying at maintenance even with those might as well, the moment you reduce those, the moment you create your deficit. So simply without even changing what you eat, but focusing on why you're eating, you can already start to not just lose weight, but you might actually hit your weight loss goal if you can just simply be consistent with that over a period of time. And there's a reason why I go deep into this particular strategy with all members of my Blueprint program within the first month. And within the first month, and on my story literally yesterday, I showed how Shannon lost a stone in a month. And all we did was implement this. She lost a stone in a month just by reducing those might as well calories. Not just from snacks, but from portion size, from overconsumption. Obviously, we went into detail about this strategy further, but the principal concept is the same. So, ladies and gents, if you're watching this, please do let me know how you find this. Please do let me know if you implement this. Feel free to share it, tag me, whatever is going to help you and help others in your network. But I cannot stress enough, if we start to reduce those might as well calories, that is without a doubt going to move our weight loss goal further. It's going to move our emotional response further when it comes to food. And it's also going to improve our relationship with food. And if we can be consistent with that, then your health is going to dramatically improve. Your obsession and thinking about and worrying about food is going to improve, and your weight loss will improve. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. My name's James Hesling, the Food Guilt Coach, and I'll see you on the next episode.